Hello, friends and enemies, it's me, V. Well, I got a doozy for you. Yes, I fell asleep and woke up. We're not going to talk about that. What I'm going to talk about instead is something that I had seen, but then I was like, holy shit. I'm not going to mention her name. It was a YouTuber that I used to follow, and she posted this video because she was really sad. She was hoping for this guy, her future husband. And essentially, the guy called her a trust fund baby and said, like, well, when we get married, I'm going to have to work and all these different things and blah, blah, blah. And she felt so heartbroken by this. And I'm like, she's like, I would give everything to you. I've given everything to you. She's given up her job. She's currently, she's currently staying at her dad's house. But she cut off contact with her family for this guy and is waiting for him to, say we'll be together. And I'm listening to this like, and she's like, he's my twin flame, and I'm sitting here like, here's the thing, twin flames. I was told, twin flames come into your life and they teach you something, and what they usually teach you is you go through a bunch of shit, so you learn and you grow. A twin flame, you're just supposed to learn something from them and then fuck off into the woods, find somebody that you like, and grow from that past experience relationship so you can go forward and find a new one. I don't know how that became soulmate. To me, a soulmate doesn't bring out my worst, like the darkness in me. Soulmate or a partner isn't somebody where I give up 90% of who I am and the shit I do to appease them. A soulmate we both realize that there's going to be a give and take, and there's compromises. If I'm constantly compromising, we are not in a relationship. I already am out the door. I'm looking at this right now. I'm listening to this right now, and she's crying, and I just want to be like, girl, why are you so bent on getting this relationship to work? It's obviously not, because he told you how he felt, and he's saying, as a Scorpio, money, and you're, as a Libra, your mindset is, well, we'll figure it out. Yes, your family were well off to the point where they were able to, you were able to afford things in life, but you want love. That, however, doesn't mean that you should give up your friends and family and where you live to follow a man across the United States. If you are following a man or anyone across the United States, I want you to know, don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Seriously, don't do that. Some people do that. I don't know why. Don't do that. Because again, you're giving up who you are as a person to make somebody else happy. Another thing that's really getting it's getting underneath my skin. This whole thing where people are like, kids should be allowed anywhere and everywhere. I grew up in the 90s. There were times when my parents would take me to one of their friends' functions or whatever. Let us run around outside. If we fell asleep, they'd put us on the bed, or we would sleep on the bed with all the adults' coats, or we'd played hide and seek with the adults' coats. I realize now, as I'm getting up there, that I want to continue that tradition of sometimes I take my kids somewhere and sometimes I leave them at home with a babysitter. For example, my mom had to go to a wedding. Guess what? My grandmother babysat and my mom went to the wedding. Came back, was like, okay, cool, thanks, Mom. And that's what happened. I do not believe in you taking your kid everywhere and being like, my kid has to go with me to everywhere. If you're inviting me, you're inviting my kid. If I'm inviting you to a winery, why the fuck would you bring a toddler to a winery? or a baby in a stroller to a winery, or a 5 or 6-year-old to a winery? What are you hoping to fucking accomplish? You want us to all suffer? And I say this as someone who does not have kids and wants kids. Some places are not kid friendly. And as much as you want to take your kid there, guess what? I can't take my fucking kid there. I have been to some weddings where people have said, oh great. I have been to a wedding where people have said that they do not want any kids. Hold on. There's something by my window blind. I forgot where I was, but I'll start from the beginning. I've been to some wineries and people have had their kids in the winery, which would be fine, except their children are running around. Now I'm trying to go get my wine, and now I have to fight with the toddler who decided to run in front of me. Or if I'm coming back with my wine, having a kid run and almost trip someone or, falls into someone. So now, and mom and dad are just sitting drinking wine by themselves in a corner. You could have kept your kids at home and then you would be able to drink. And your kids wouldn't be a problem to other people who are trying to drink. We both paid for the same thing, and yet now I have to play babysitter to your kid. Same thing with weddings. I have been to weddings where there are no children, not allowed. Children are not allowed, and someone always brings a kid, and they're like, it's family. Weddings are about family. Weddings are about family, but you also have to realize if you are a parent and you bring your kid, guess what? You got to parent your kid. You cannot leave your kid and expect other people who are childless to then babysit your kid because you don't fucking want to do it. That's not fair to me. I mean, other people who are childless. Could have happened to me, but I'm not going to tell because it might give too much information. I've also had people that are really gone to bat for, I need to spend time with my kid. I need to do this and that. And it always comes back to, who are you without your child? Yes, it is great that you are a parent. But besides being a parent, who are you, Matthew? Who are you, Sheila? What are your hobbies outside of your fucking kids? And I'm seeing too many people who cannot tell me what it is that they can't answer the question. I say, who are you? If you did not have kids, who would you be? Or they say, well, I do this and that for my kid. I always take them to parties and I always do this, that, and the other. I said, okay, but what do you do for yourself? What do you do for your relationship? Well, we worry about our kids. Yeah, it's great you worry about your kids. But do you two, the two parents that have the kid, do you guys go on a special outing where there aren't the kids so you guys remember why you're together in the first place? Because I'm also seeing some of my friends get divorced because after the kids grow up, or better yet, just being together and had the kids in the pandemic, it really brought home the point of, who am I without my kids? Do I really want to be with this person? Or have I given up a lot? And when I say given up everything, meaning they moved cross country to be with their partner. They had a kid with the partner, even though they really didn't want to, but the partner wanted one, so they had one, which don't do. They, took care of the child until the child was of age, and then realized, hey, wait a minute, I did all this shit, and I didn't actually live my life. I lived vicariously through my kid. That's the scariest shit to find out. And I'm seeing some people go through that right now on Facebook and other places, and I'm just like, wouldn't be me. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you, and as always, fuck Tom Brady.